Now on CoastTV News.
Scary scene at Cape Henlopen High. Parents reacting to a gun being found in a student's backpack in school today.
Cold water, a main break in Milton causing problems as crews work to get things back online.
It's bitterly cold this evening along the coast. I'll let you know how long those temperatures are going to last, and we have a bit of snow to talk about as well.
Burst, former President Trump getting into it with the judge in the defamation case against him today. And a four-legged officer retires after almost a decade of service. How Canine Simon served the Worcester County Sheriff's Office.
This is CoastTV News at 11.
Gun on campus, a scary scene at Cape Henlopen High School this afternoon, and parents shocked by the revelation. Good evening, I'm Charlie Sakaitis. Welcome to our news at 11. We begin tonight with new information from Delaware State Police. After teachers were alerted that a student may have a gun at the school, officials hurried to track down the truth and keep the rest of the student body safe. CoastTV News reporter Charles Reinert has been following this story all day. He has the latest update from a new release.
A scary afternoon for the Cape Henlopen High School community. Delaware State Police say a student brought this loaded 9mm gun on campus in their backpack.
Shock. Yeah, I'm really surprised. Wasn't expecting to hear something like that happening here.
After a late night release, we now know it was a 17-year-old student that was in possession of the firearm. A staff member alerted the school's student resource officer. The student was contacted, the gun revealed, and then the student was quickly removed and arrested. In a statement to Coast TV, Cape High Principal Kristen DeGregory said, quote, "The issue that occurred earlier today at Cape Henlopen High School is extremely concerning to the high school staff, students, and the entire Cape Henlopen School District," end quote. The teen is facing 2 felony charges, including carrying a concealed firearm and possession of a firearm in a safe school zone.
I know they practice for things like this, so that part doesn't worry me. It just worries about, something like this happening again, and I'm curious to find out what they'll do to, figure out what happens next.
After a nerve-wracking afternoon, parents, students, and staff can now breathe a little easier knowing that everyone is home safe. Both Delaware State Police and the school district say that there are no safety concerns at this time. I'm Charles Reinert in Lewis, Coast TV News.
Given the history of gun violence in America, nobody is confused why a gun in school is a scary proposition for the students, the teachers, the parents, and the administrators. But let's take a look at the recent numbers to really drive home the point. According to a CNN report today, just 17 days into the new year, we've already seen at least 2 school shootings across the country. When you look at 2023 as a whole, it was a tragically bloody year with 82 school shootings. Looking at the trend line, it's been a growing problem. The years 2021, 22, and 23 all topped 70 shootings. Breaking news tonight, and I mean that quite literally. There's a water main break here in Milton in the area of Route 16 and Morris Avenue. A water main break, never great, but in sub-zero temperatures, it can make it even more of a hazard. Crews are working as fast as they can to fix the issue, but in the meantime, some homes in the area may be experiencing a loss of water or water pressure. And now let's go ahead and take a live look outside. This is the Lewis area right now. Our first alert chief meteorologist, Paul Williams, joining us. And Paul, it has been cold all week.
Oh, it's going to become even more brutal, particularly as we go into the weekend. One quick note about that water main break. Also, folks, if your pipes tend to be a little tender when it gets cold, go ahead and air it out, warm things up, open up the bottom cabinet so that the air can get circulating so you have a less opportunity for your water to freeze at your house. That's a free PSA announcement from the weather department, okay? Bay Health, we're looking at in Dover, 22 degrees. We're going to drop to the teens for tonight. Thankfully, the winds are going to die down a bit. So that'll be a little bit on the helpful side for us, but it's still cold, no matter how you slice it. I mean, take a look at it. We're talking about temperatures in the 20s pretty much everywhere. And we're concerned about snow on Friday. Look at this. We're looking for a dusting down near Chincoteague, but up to 2 inches where we are. And then as you go into Kent County, it gets a little bit worse, up to maybe even 4 inches of snow. We'll elaborate in more detail about the snow and the Arctic air behind it. Whew, that's the second part of the story, Charlie.
Thank you, Paul. And as always, for more weather updates, make sure you pull out your phone, scan this QR code for our First Alert weather app. You can download the app for free to get all the weather updates that you might need. Delaware Republicans are still trying to hold Governor Carney accountable for restricting places of worship during the pandemic. Here's why. In 2020, the governor ordered all places of worship to limit capacity to no more than 10 people. That was in order to prevent the spread of COVID-19. A lawsuit originally filed in December 2021 was initially dismissed by the Superior Court. It has now moved to the Supreme Court. We spoke with a local pastor who believes people would have put themselves at risk by attending religious services during the pandemic.
Absolutely, absolutely. In fact, I remember giving a talk later, about a year later, and thinking about what did we learn, in this period, this unprecedented period, And one of the things that I said was maybe one of the sine qua nons of worship, I would have said would have been togetherness, that, where two or three are gathered in my name, Christ is here among us, right? But then I realized, no, safety is the most important thing, keeping people safe.
Republicans are looking for the Delaware Supreme Court to agree that restricting religious institutions was wrong. And if there is another health emergency, they want to ensure that the government can't shut down houses of worship. Meanwhile, as we take a look at what's next for Governor Carney, tomorrow is the State of the State address. It will be held at 2 p.m. You can watch it on Facebook Live if you would like, and CoastTV News will have your full coverage right here at 5, 6, and 11. Governor Carney's Maryland counterpart, Governor Wes Moore, unveiled a new spending plan today. The total cost for fiscal year 2025, $63.1 billion. Key areas that it looks to address, that includes additional funding for public safety, child care, employee raises, and more. However, the plan does not raise taxes. Some of that will be accomplished by moving money around. The governor is also looking to make the state more business friendly by cutting down on permitting processes and regulatory red tape.
I'm Mallory Metzner. Here's a look at just some of the things happening across Delmarva. If you get a phone call about local police and fire departments offering free installation of panic buttons in your home, hang up. The Worcester County Sheriff's Office says this is a phone scam. Hang up on callers making these claims. K9 Simon has retired after a 9-year career. The Worcester County Sheriff's Office says Simon was responsible for the detection and arrest of many dangerous criminals and also helped officers restore order when the unsanctioned H2OI event caused chaos in 2019 in Ocean City. Assateague Island National Seashore is reporting yellow-rumped warbler sightings. Assateague has the bayberry and poison ivy that this species enjoys. You can spot these little birds by the yellow on the sides of their bodies and pale brown coloring. And that's a look at just some of the things happening across Delmarva. I'm Mallory Metzner.
New tonight, a dramatic scene played out today in a New York courtroom as former President Donald Trump and the woman seeking damages against him for defamation met in the same room for the first time in decades. A jury deciding how much money, if any, to award E. Jean Carroll after defamatory statements Mr. Trump made in 2019 about Carroll's sexual assault allegations against him. As Emily Schmidt reports, Carroll took the stand today, and Mr. Trump shared his own thoughts.
There is much at stake in this federal defamation trial. E. Jean Carroll seeking more than $10 million in damages. Former President Donald Trump seeking in part to criticize the judge. First on social media, then to the cameras.
That's a nasty man. He's a nasty judge. He's a Trump-hating guy.
Carroll testified her reputation had changed after Trump's 2019 comments about her, saying, "So previously I was known simply as a journalist, and now I'm known as a liar, a fraud, and a whack job." In a separate trial last year, a jury found Trump sexually assaulted Carroll in the mid-1990s and defamed her in 2022 statements, awarding her $5 million. The day after the verdict, Trump said this on a CNN town hall.
I have no idea who the hell. She's a whack
President,
job.
you did not testify.
On Wednesday, Carol testified she felt worthless when she heard the audience laughter and told of threats she received. Trump shook his head when Carol accused him of sexually assaulting her. And at one point, the judge said Trump had a right to be there, but that right could be forfeited if he's disruptive. Trump threw up his hands. The judge said, "I understand you're probably eager for me to do that." Reporters in the room heard Trump say, "I would love it." When court wrapped for the day, Trump sought the last word.
And I frankly am the one that suffered damages. I should be given money, given damages.
With that, Trump said he was heading to New Hampshire to campaign for president. The trial continues Thursday. I'm Emily Schmidt reporting.
We are thrilled to announce that Coast TV has a brand new Facebook page. For the latest news, exclusive content, interactive discussions, make sure to visit and follow our new page. Just head over to facebook.com/CoastTVNBC, or it's a little bit easier to just scan this QR code that appears on your screen. That's how you can stay connected with us. We're just getting started. Still to come, traffic news, the road that will soon be closed in Fenwick Island, and when it should open back up.
Cold and snowy weather will continue to be a threat for us as we go into this weekend. We already see winter weather advisories popping up around us, but we will soon be the object of that ire coming up soon.
But first, drive into the intense competition for Lisa Blunt Rochester's soon-to-be vacant Congress seat. Meet the key players vying to shape Delaware's future. We'll be right back in 60 seconds.
When you visit the Delmarva Design Center, you'll experience a selection of appliances, cabinetry, countertops, tile, and flooring all together in one showroom. The 10,000 square foot location has a variety of inspiring samples for any project size or budget. Your dedicated product experts and designers collaborate to bring your dream project to life. Come and see what the kitchen industry buzz is all about. Experience the Delmarva Design Center in Selbyville, Delaware, serving all of Delmarva's coast.
Happy New Year from the dealership that puts you, the customer, first in everything we do. First State Chevrolet in Georgetown.
Save up to $5,000 on this 2024 Chevy Silverado.
Interest rates as low as 1.9% and $2,250 off these 2024 Chevy Equinox.
Sales, service, parts, body shop, and towing, all at one convenient location in Georgetown, 1 mile north of the DMV.
We are First State Chevy in Georgetown, where we put you, the customer, first. Find new roads.
This is Coast TV News at 11.
When Senator Tom Carper announced his resignation last year, it created not one, but two open seats in Delaware's congressional delegation. Current Representative Lisa Blunt Rochester now running to fill Carper's place in the Senate. And as Coast TV's Matt Pensick shows us, there is plenty of interest in being the person who replaces her in the House of Representatives.
3 Democrats vying for the one and only U.S. House seat in Delaware. They may be from the same party, but there are not so subtle differences in background and policy position. State Senator Sarah McBride attempting to make history by becoming the first transgendered person elected to Congress. Eugene Young is Delaware's director of the State Housing Authority. It's a position once held by the current member of the House, Lisa Blunt Rochester. Colleen Davis is Delaware's treasurer and looking to become the first member of either chamber of Congress from Sussex County since John J. Williams resigned from the Senate at the end of 1970.
That doesn't need to be at the expense of open space. We've got a lot of commercial space that can be redeveloped into residential. We've certainly got the opportunity that when new development occurs, that sometimes that development is a little denser, that it might be multifamily dwellings, that it might be semi-detached or homes rather than all single-family detached homes.
It's a multi-tiered approach. It's not going to be just one-size-fits-all type of an approach, and I think it's got to be, as I said, materials, finances, and the ability for people to make decisions on their own.
$5 million in down payment assistance to first responders, teachers, those who worked in the medical or healthcare space. $15,000 down payment assistance. You stay in the house for 10 years, you don't have to pay it back.
Anytime you are making illegal at the federal level cannabis banking, or the ability to bank those funds after you sell it, even from a medical perspective, that is a challenge.
We need to understand that this is something that we have to be monitoring of, but I do believe that marijuana should be legal, and we should not be institutionalizing people for their use of marijuana.
When you try to prohibit it because you prohibit the sale in your borders, you probably only feed a black market, which is exactly what we were trying to undermine with the legislation. But it is certainly their right, and they're allowed to do so.
I do believe electric vehicles are going to be a part of our future for here on out. We just have to make sure that we don't move ahead of the people in which we're trying to serve.
In order to actually address the global crisis of climate change, we need federal action and federal solutions. And so after several years in the legislature where we've been able to make historic progress showing that small states can do big things, I'm running for Congress now because we need federal action.
There's a risk that people take that they won't actually get to their destination before their battery runs out. And I think, again, when we're talking about the costs, we're talking about, individuals' pockets and whether or not they can actually afford the higher ticket price that goes along with an EV.
I've proven a capacity to deliver real results in a legislative context on all of the issues that matter.
I'm the only candidate that has the ability to think about the person when we talk about how we affect people and the household and how we actually serve people in a way that doesn't crush them.
Whether it's just not even from the housing piece, but also from the nonprofit space, the community development space over this last 20 years shows more importantly, what I've done.
The reality of the situation is that the Democrats have over 150,000 more registered voters than Republicans in the state, and Delaware has not elected a Republican to Congress since 2008, meaning the winner of this primary is in strong position to become the next U.S. representative from Delaware. For Coast TV News, I'm Matt Pensick.
Since we rapped about this preview, Dover businesswoman Danya Hall is seeking the Republican nomination for the seat. Coast TV is attempting to schedule an interview with Hall to air at a later point in time. In traffic news, this one for all our drivers who make their way through the Fenwick Island area. Beginning on Wednesday, January 24th, the Department of Transportation has announced that they are closing West Maryland Avenue between Route 1 and Island Street. That closure will be running through February 8th. The purpose of the closure is to install new drainage, and hopefully that's going to help improve the flood-prone areas. Detours will be posted.
I bring you tidings of cold news, if nothing else, because it's going to go snowy to crazy cold. But then down the road, there's hope. There's real decent hope of almost a spring-like day. It's all over the map here. So just walk with me through this, will you? Courtesy of our Irish Eyes. And by the way, while you're there, go ahead and scan the QR code in the corner. You're going to need it because that's just how crazy the weather's going to go up and down. In Lewis, we're holding at 24 degrees. And what we're expecting for the rest of the night, we're going to stay mainly clear with temperatures hovering in the 20s. So it's cold. Now, there's an actual legitimate winter weather advisory in effect for portions of the state, but not necessarily our part. I mean, for Kent, Newcastle, yes. Surrounding areas, yeah. And even along the Bay Area, we have a small craft advisory, but not necessarily for our direct area. But you see, we're in the vicinity of a not so great situation, particularly as we go into Friday when the snow and the cold will begin to hit. Right now, we're holding at 25 degrees in Rehoboth as well as Bethany Beach, but 22 in Redden, Milton, and 23 in Milford, for example. Now, we are pretty close to where we were just 24 hours ago from where we are right now, but the wind chill factor, we feel like 15 in Georgetown, 18 in Milford, 19 in Greenwood, just as an example of what that westerly flow of wind, that zonal flow of wind, is actually doing at this time. You know, this is relatively docile compared to what I'm expecting, because as early as tomorrow afternoon, the winds will be shifting out of the southwest and picking up momentum here at about 15 to up to 20 mile per hour gusts. And then by the time we get to Saturday, it's going to come out of that cold area, okay, out of the northwest, and it's going to start clocking near 40 mile per hour winds, and that's when the cold really comes into play. But let's take this one step at a time. You see, Thursday afternoon, we are in the 30s. We go into Friday, that's when we see widespread snow showers kicking in, particularly by the afternoon, Friday afternoon. Now, because we're expecting it throughout the afternoon, depending on exactly when we start, we're looking for a dusting everywhere, but up to maybe 1 inch in Ocean City, Long Neck, Georgetown, Lewis, any of those areas, most of Sussex, about 1 to 2 inches. And I'm going to lean more towards 1.5, to be quite honest, splitting the two. But north, we're going to about, let's say, near 4. The models have backed off because initially they were talking about 3 inches over in this area for Ellendale, Georgetown, and Seaford. No longer quite that aggressive. We're looking for that area of snow with our latest model run. Not so big, not so ominous. Last point before we close out. Single digits. That's what we're going to wake up to Saturday morning, and we're going to stay in single digits all day long Saturday morning because of those vicious winds out of the northwest I just showed you a few moments ago. Arctic air for tonight. Tomorrow the moisture builds. First alert day on Friday because of the 2 inches of snow, and then Saturday the wind just blows us away.
Thank you, Paul. Still to come, cold weather complications, what you need to do to protect your health, your fingers, your nose, and your ears. And next, a green fleet, but at what price? Maryland looking to transition to electric buses, but not everybody's happy with the cost.
It's Grace Home Furnishings' final sale before they close their doors for good. 4 days only, January 18th through the 21st. Every item marked down to 75% off. Famous brand names at rock bottom prices, so get there fast before it's all gone.
Villa Sorrento invites you and your family to join us for some of Delmarva's best authentic Italian cuisine. Experience the aroma of warm bread served at your table in a cozy atmosphere. Try seafood pescatore or pasta with grandma's gravy. Our New York-style pizza and strombolis are a local's favorite. Top it off with cocktails, wine, and dessert. So for great food, good wine, great friends, good times, Villa Sorrento. That's amore. That's a nice.
Have you bought a house in the last decade, but it's just not quite big enough? At Paul Davis, we can design and build you a brand new addition or remodel your whole home from start to finish. With over 50 years experience of building and restoring homes, we've made the process quick and easy while making it affordable. Call Paul Davis today, and one of our design consultants can be at your home as soon as tomorrow to give you a free estimate for your new addition or whole home remodel. Or visit our new showroom in Salisbury, Maryland, 100 Marvel Road.
Quarterback gets ready, steps up, hands off the wrist to the running back.
Oh, Fritz.
He spins outside.
What you got there?
Avoids pressure. Stretches and brings it home.
Make the Connection provides veterans with resources and information about issues affecting their mental health, well-being, and everyday lives. Learn about the resources available to veterans at maketheconnection.net.
It's Grace Home Furnishings' final sale before they close their doors for good. 4 days only, January 18th through the 21st. Every item marked down to 75% off. Famous brand names at rock bottom prices, so get there fast before it's all gone.
Big changes could be in store for Ocean City buses. The bus fleet in Ocean City may change to an all-electric fleet as soon as 2026. It would cost around $1.5 million to buy each electric bus, and one woman in Ocean City says that's just too much.
I really oppose having these electric buses. I think the cost, first of all, is going to be crazy. There's so many other things we could use that money for, and also just the maintenance of them and charging them. I can't even imagine how long it's going to take, and I know that they're having trouble with the electric cars now, not charging in the cold weather. So I just don't think it's a good idea.
Governor Wes Moore pushes for Maryland to generate 100% clean energy by 2035. Coming up in sports, Del Mar Wrestling looking to take down Lake Forest for the first time in 5 years. We've got highlights. And next, the housing market just may be thawing. Consumer sentiment heading in the right direction, and so are the interest rates.
We salute Jerry Thompson. Dr. Gerald Jerry Thompson served in Vietnam with the 82nd Airborne Rangers. He returned in 1968, soon meeting his future wife, Colleen Ann Connell. In 1972, Jerry began inspiring students as Milford High's music teacher and band director, sharing his passion for music. Remembered fondly, Jerry's legacy in education and music lives on.
Spicer Brothers and CoastTV are honoring military persons and first responders serving Delmarva. If you have a family member, friend, or community member that you would like to nominate for a CoastTV salute, go to coasttvsalutes.com.
Tomorrow at 4 on Coast Life, join us in creating magical frozen sun catchers to brighten chilly days. And we're spilling the tea with travel drama, plus tips for keeping pets warm in this freezing weather. Coast Live tomorrow at 4 on Coast TV.
Let the steam rise like the majestic Mount Fuji, unveiling a new ramen restaurant in Salisbury. The Fuji Ramen House is an adventure with each tantalizing bite. Enjoy your experience in a cozy Japanese-themed setting and indulge in mouth-watering appetizers, rice bowls, curry, and of course, our ramen. Handcrafted noodles simmering in a delicious broth with your choice of toppings. Elevate your taste to new heights and savor the umami flavors of authentic ramen at Fuji Ramen House, located behind East Moon.
Not sure what to get your Valentine this year? How about a new walk-in shower from Baths by Spicer Brothers? Right now, through February 14th, save 14% off your entire project and take advantage of no interest and no payments for 18 months. Plus, receive a set of 2 luxury bathrobes. And your new shower can be installed in as little as 1 day with factory-certified 5-star installation guaranteed. Don't miss out. This offer ends February 14th. Baths by Spicer Brothers, because you deserve the best.
No one can control the weather, but at Horizon Services, we make sure your home is warm all season long. Our expert technicians recommend getting your heater checked now. We'll come out to inspect your system, listen to your concerns, and guide you to a custom heating solution that optimizes your system's performance and gives you the peace of mind you deserve. Whether it's time for a tune-up, a repair, or an upgrade, your comfort is our priority. Call or schedule online today to take advantage of special offers and financing options.
Embrace a new journey and kickstart your New Year's resolution in a brand new Subaru from Gateway Subaru. Discover the 2024 Subaru Outback, which represents Subaru's commitment to safety, innovation, and adventure. Right now, lease a new 2024 Subaru Outback for only $299 a month, or take advantage of financing rates as low as 4.9%. Plus, Gateway has more in-stock Subaru inventory to choose from than other dealers have combined. Love, it's what makes a Subaru a Gateway Subaru. Higher standards.
I think when you open your eyes, you get to decide, how's my day going to be? We want to be a way to start your day, lighten your load, every single morning.
Home buyers are starting to feel a little bit better about jumping into the market as mortgage rates start to decline. The average rate is about 6.6%. That's more than a full percentage point lower than last year's high of 7.79. Confidence among home builders also surging, but what's really needed to beef up the market is for existing homeowners to become more willing to sell. Now, that would require interest rates low enough to encourage them to give up their own current very low rates. Big news from Ocean City. The 1910 Bank of Ocean City building is being transformed into the Museum of Ocean City. The town says the new museum, set to open this summer, the restoration is all about keeping the building's historical charm, including its original hardwood floors and even the old safes. The project is supported by state grants. Freezing temps on the coast mean it is time to bundle up. As Coast TV News reporter Tori Seagraves reports, it's especially important to protect your fingers, your toes, your ears, anything that is vulnerable to frostbite.
Everyone walking out the door today is on thin ice. Plummeting temperatures making for a bitter trip into the elements. Kathy Ryanstar and her little one Brayden walk to school every day, and this morning was no different.
It is really cold. If it were much farther than the 10 minutes that it is, I'm not sure that we'd be walking.
With temperatures below freezing and wind chill making it feel even colder, Coast TV meteorologists say beware of frostbite. And with that in mind, professionals at BB Healthcare want you to know how to recognize the signs.
You're going to notice some redness of the fingertips. And then you can get into that whiteness, the blue and purple color. So you'll definitely have some skin discoloration. People with darker skin tones are not going to be able to see as many of the skin color changes. And their skin typically will not get red. It'll actually turn hypopigmented.
BB Healthcare says that if you do think you have frostbite, to run what is numb under warm water and to remove any wet clothing. I'm Tori Seagraves in Milton, Coast TV News.
The Delmarva Sports Network from the Wawa Studios.
Good evening. In our game of the night, Del Mar Wrestling looking to take down Lake Forest for the first time in 5 years. Lake coming in undefeated at 5-0, but Del Mar started off 20-6 in the matchup as the aggressors early on. In 132, Dom Adkins, the freshman, gets the win for the Wildcats. In the 138 weight class, freshman Jerusalem Howard changing the momentum for the Spartans and getting a 9-0 win. In the 144 division, Ian Nance getting a 9-3 win for the Spartans. Then senior Case Dempsey wins with the pin for Lake in 150. Sean Farrell at 165 gets a pin while fighting through adversity and wearing a face mask. In 190, Bryce Johnson got his opponent's shoulder blades down for 6. The Spartans defeat the Wildcats 41-32. Sticking with wrestling action, Caesar Rodney dominates tonight with a 75-3 win over Dover to stay undefeated. The Senators hope to end their 4-game losing streak with a win over Cape Henlopen a week from today. Staying in the Henlopen Conference, Indian River Wrestling moves to 2-2 on the season with a 44-27 win over Woodbridge. The Blue Raiders have now lost 2 straight and fall to 6-3. That'll do it for sports. Have a great night.
Life. Just when you think you've got it made, you've got another thing coming. To which we say, bring it on. Your heart needs a hand? We've got hands committed to saving hundreds of hearts each year. You're facing a storm? Hey, storm, is that all you got? Because we've got more. More ways to help, to provide hope, with a commitment to your health that runs deep.
30 years ago, a historic ice storm knocked out power for 10 days. Trees fell across power lines and ice snapped utility poles. Our Delaware Electric Cooperative team worked around the clock to help those we serve. 3 decades later, we've applied the lessons we learned during the storm to make our grid stronger. Through the dedication of our employees, Co-op Power has never been more reliable. And while the weather is unpredictable, DEC's commitment to doing what's best for our members will never change.
When I decided to have my kitchen done, I knew I wanted it done professionally, and that's when I contacted Ellen. She took me to the Delmarva Design Center.
From the moment I bring a customer into Delmarva Design Center, the ideas start to flow. First thing we do is take a stroll around the showroom so we can look at all the different vignettes to get ideas of what they like and see what they react to.
For each of the different aspects that I wanted to change in my kitchen, there were experts here, and everyone was so helpful. They listened to what I had to say, and they had great ideas that helped me put together exactly what I wanted for my kitchen.
My goal is to have the customer enjoy their space as quickly as possible, and Delmarva Design Center helps me do that.
My kitchen is one of my favorite places now. It's something that I use every single day of my life. I'm elated with my experience at the Delmarva Design Center.
Delmarva Design Center. Great design starts with great inspiration. Selbyville, Delaware.
Hey Delmarva, this is MJ Laughlin. Start something new at IG Burton Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Ram in Melford, Smyrna, Newark, or Berlin, and discover savings of up to $13,000 off Grand Cherokee 4XE, or take advantage of discounts up to $15,000 off on Ram trucks. Also, we have lease options available with payments starting as low as $229 per month. Stop by any IG Burton Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Ram in Melford, Smyrna, Newark, or Berlin. Nobody beats a Burton deal. Nobody.
Our winner for tonight is Eugene Fullerton of Millsboro. Congratulations, courtesy of Paul Davis Restoration and Home Remodeling. Our Gateway Subaru camera indicating, hey, we have temperature of 30 degrees right now in Ocean City. We're going to drop from 29 down to 27 and stay in the upper 20s for the rest of this evening. Of course, the winds have died down a bit for us, so that's staying a bit quiet. We do have the winter weather advisory that's in effect for Kent as well as up towards Newcastle, but not quite for us here in Sussex County. But we're in the general vicinity of the cold weather kicking in and staying kicked in. Here's a look at your exclusive 10-day forecast. We're looking for Thursday, 43 degrees actually, and then we have our first alert day for Friday. Now, we're looking for about 2 inches of snow at the very least, possibly up to 3 or 4 as you get closer to the Kent and Sussex County line. And then Saturday and Sunday, it's going to be brutally cold. Single-digit wind chills for us all day Saturday, and at least in the morning time for us on Sunday. And then Monday, going into Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, we warm back up to, believe it or not, 60 degrees.
Thanks, Paul. If you squint real hard, you can see those warmer temperatures down the way. Thanks for joining us here for Coast TV News at 11. For more news and local weather, download our Coast TV News app. The Tonight Show starring Jimmy Fallon is up next, and we're going to see you tomorrow for Coast TV News at 5 a.m. Have a great evening.